advances from clients, from listeners, from also colleagues. But through it all, I kept very confident of myself, and I always told them off.
Apart from journalism, I also do research. So I was called for an interview with an organization in Chicago. I did the interview, I passed, and I was taken. So when the field manager called me, it's like, you've been taken. So you have a place to stay in here at Chicago. I was like, no, I don't have a place, but I'll look for anywhere that I can put up on. So this man was like, no, I have an idea. We are coming to share a room. I have a room here, we are coming to share. I told this man, sharing a room part of the job, he told me. I said, okay, if that is the case, I'm not going for your job. I'm not this person who go for sexual transmitted jobs. If sleeping with you will guarantee me to get your job, I'm done with it. I'm not going for the thing. We're having it on WhatsApp to have a chat. I screenshot the thing. The general manager was some Zulu from South Africa. Now people are working, I wasn't there. The Zulu called me and asked why I wasn't at work. I was like, your field manager wanted to first sleep with me before I go to the work. Do I have evidence? Yes. I sent him the screenshot. As I am talking right now, that manager has been fired from the organization because I had the evidence. Wow. Sometimes I blame ourselves. It's not that we are sexual harassed. It's sometimes we intimidate people to harass us. The way we dress, the way we handle things whenever we're in the thing. Doing things there. So we don't blame them. Sometimes we blame ourselves because the way we handle ourselves, like in front of them, sometimes matters. You cannot go into field putting on something which only shows your womanhood. So you believe someone to just look at you, just look at the beautiful part of you. No, that is not the case. He will want to touch it. He will want to feel it and use it. So sometimes it is the way we handle ourselves in the field that really makes it. But when you stand your ground that, no, I am this person, I don't want to use my body is so precious to me, you always make it. Thank you.
An experience of a man that is, I would say, respected in society. And to make it worse, he was dressed in a suit that day. So, just like, I know we build rapport and we try to be friendly to people, because I've always told people my job has taught me to be very patient, extremely patient. But then this is a gentleman who comes and is like, Pamela, then touches my butt. I told this guy, never. I have lost respect for you. And there were people around. I walked away. So he was my friend, but actually that ended the relationship. We can just talk on normal basis, hi, and that. So sometimes those are the things that we really, really go through.
But one day that boss, we were used to each other from long time. So one day the boss called me and said, when you work because you work in media, I have an advert that should run over the radio in Arua 1. So I told him, it's okay, you can send it on WhatsApp. Then from there we shall work together. The boss sent the advert, it was about some product. So he told me that advert should run in Kiswahili and Lingala. I told him it's okay. I did the advert, I translated. After translating the advert, he told me, okay, send me back so that I can approve, so that you send back to the radio and he pays the money. I finished, I sent him back, he listened to the advert. After that, he told me, don't go to the radio first. You have to wait me, I'm traveling to Arua. So I had to wait for him. When he arrived in Arua, he arrived at 3 o'clock. He called me, I was for news. Then I told him, you wait when I finish news, I'll reach you. He said, no, you come at Hotel Desert Breeze. I'm waiting for you. Then I said, why can't you come just direct at the station? Then we finished from there. I said, you have to come in the room, you start narrating me how you went to voice it. So that I should be listening in your voice. I said, at the station, we can do it even. I'll send you to the production room. You see how I voiced the advert. He said, no, you made a mistake in Lingala, I have to correct it. Then I had to share it with my sister. My sister told me, he has another intention. If he's really willing his advert to run over the radio, he should come at the station. So when we called him several times, come at the station, I can't meet you at Desert Breeze, the man had to switch off phone. Till now, there's no any communication. After 1 week, he called back. Okay, I'm just sending you money. You just send that advert, it's okay, let it run. Because when I come at the station, when the manager sees me, she's going to charge me more.
Maybe he's angry.
So I waited for the money in the mobile phone, no money came, and from there is when the man stopped and was nowhere to be seen. That's my experience.
Advert in the desert.
So we had a supervisor. It's a very prominent organization, one that you cannot expect anyone will do something like that. So this gentleman, I'm told, he used to also target when a girl comes newly in this at the workplace and he starts giving his advance like that. So by then we were volunteers, a team of volunteers working in the organization. This gentleman started calling me after work. He would call me, Safina, I'm at this hotel. Please come, I want to talk to you. I want to have some time with you. I'll give him excuses. No, sir, I'm very tired. I can't do this. I have a report to do. What? I can't meet you. I would always give him excuses. So I started confiding in some of my friends, my colleagues. I came to realize he was doing the same thing to most of the girls. So I ignored him until there was a point where I went with my boyfriend by then. We went out for supper. We phoned him. So when we found him there, his reaction was really so bad. So the next morning when he met us, he told us he was addressing us. He was not in his moods at all. He said, some of you, we are soon going to take you to stay in the field. We shall see whether you will be going for dinner with your boyfriends. So from that moment, he started being so rude to me. When we go to field, when he reaches field and finds me, they'll be like, Safina, what do you think you're doing? Do you think I brought you here to stay? Why aren't you working? You're letting people, and yet I'm actually doing the work. So he would really harass me all the time, being rude to me. Every time he addresses the team, anything, he gives a negative example with me. And yet everyone knew that I was doing my best. So I ignored. And the rest, there was unfortunately one girl who gave in to him. This girl, unfortunately for her, she was promised promotion. Since we were volunteers, there were positions that were being advertised. The gentleman told her, you see, your position is guaranteed. And this gentleman wasn't the HR at all. He was not even in the panel of those who are going to interview us. So, and at the end of the day, he made the girl pregnant. And the girl did not get the job. The girl was so disorganized, she was depressed, and that very month our contract ended. So she was just left like that. She even attempted to terminate the pregnancy, which almost took her life. It was a very bad experience, but we did not have evidence to accuse him. Since this was a prominent organization, they would want to protect their image. They wouldn't, and it was his word against ours. So since none of us had the evidence, most of us tried to manage apart from that same girl who gave in and was disappointed at last. So these things happen to us almost every day. Every single day. It's just the way we handle it. The way, if you give it attention, you mess up. but if you don't give it attention, and I came to realize the best thing to do is get evidence. So I told a friend of mine, next time he calls, you record the call, play it to him and tell him, sir, the next time we do this, you call me and say all these things. I'm sending this voice. I'm sending this to the managers above, and then we shall see who. Because he started threatening, some of you are soon going to lose your jobs. So I told my friend, please record whatever he tells you. Record that
You're disrupting my meeting.
record the conversation, and my friend did it. She recorded and told, you know what, sir, the copy of this, if anything happens to me, I have a copy of this that I've sent to like 3 of my friends. So if anything happens, if I hear any nonsense from you again, I'm forwarding this voicemail to the bosses. And if anything happens to me, my friends have the copies. That was the time he stopped. Until now, we've not had any issues with him. So that was my experience.
I started experiencing sexual violence right from high school. It went through up to where I did my institution. I had like teachers sleeping with girls because the girls want promotions, like they want to pass courseworks. Up to when I finished and when I came for an internship, it was still the same story. There was this one station manager who I had stories about him that if you want a job, easily sleep with him. That is what he does here. I used to hear it, I thought it was just a story that people will say and it ends. It's the reality. So this guy calls me in his office, like, "This, you have a good voice. I think you can work with us." He said, "I will accept the opportunity if you give me the chance. Because I'm still an intern, fresh from the school, I really need a job." So he comes, he's like, "Now, meet me in this place." Which place was, I think, his office outside work. I think he had something else he was doing elsewhere. "Now, I'm going to give you, if you don't want the work," but you see, he started telling me problems of the station where he was working that he felt is going to obstruct him from being with me, because I don't know if he realized I was a bit tough. Then he told me, come and meet me in my office in such place here in town. I came. Reaching there, guy starts talking, telling me stories over stories. "See that station, this, blah, blah." He's the manager and he's speaking ill about the same station.